National Leader Christopher Luxon visited Hawke's Bay this week to get a sense of the issues facing the region. The tour coincided with the announcement of an annual inflation rate of 6.7%, resulting in an increase in the working poor requiring assistance.
Here today at Nourished for Nil, it's a common theme that I'm picking up across the country. It's actually the working poor. It's the people with good jobs and average incomes doing it tough with rising interest rate, rising rents, food prices up over 12%. Coming here and seeing the work of Nikki and her team here is pretty special.
We have a lot of working poor that are finding it really hard under this financial strain. We've jumped from 1,500 families a week throughout our free stores to 3,000 families a week. So we've noticed a huge increase, and these are people that work 40, 50 hours a week and they still don't have money for food.
Again, the government's own advisors are telling it, you are spending, you are addicted to spending, and the money is driving inflation. And that's exactly what's happened. And when inflation goes high, it's just economic history and logic. You have to take interest rates up. And when interest rates go up, you've got a risk of recession. And when you get a risk of recession, you end up with people losing their jobs and rising unemployment. And it just gets worse and worse and worse the longer it goes on. If you care about people, you manage the economy well, and they're not doing that.
As the post-cyclone recovery continues, the National Party has in principle stated to work constructively with the government during the rebuild process.
Yep, I'm going to be positive and constructive and very supportive of making sure the government has the powers and the resources it needs to get the recovery underway, but I am deeply sceptical of this government, having watched them for 6 years, that they can actually get things done.
The visit was also used to promote a recently released agricultural policy aimed at farmers.
The policy we announced yesterday, which resoundingly solely is focused on getting farmers back to farming by getting rid of dumb, silly, expensive rules and regulations and giving them the tools to do what they need to, which is farm.
The first area is around those regulations. For every new rule that central and local government creates on the rural sector over the first 3 years of government, they must take 2 away. And you must consider the cost of that rule or regulation you're putting on rural New Zealand on the farmer. Government can only ask farmers for information once. Thereafterwards, they must find ways to share it amongst the system, amongst themselves.
Mixing with the community also gave the opportunity for people to pose questions to the leader.
But not once have you mentioned the climate crisis or climate change.
We are deeply committed to net carbon zero 2050, remembering we're the government that signed in 2015 the Paris agreements that actually put us on that pathway. The outcomes of that we are fully on board with, don't dispute me on our commitment to that, but the means by which we deliver that will be very different from this government.
What about a special tax bracket, a very high one, for overseas owned enterprises within New Zealand by non-New Zealand citizens?
We are the second worst at foreign direct investment in this country, and in the OECD. So actually New Zealand is the least friendly and welcoming to foreign direct investment, and we actually need some smart, good foreign direct investment.
Can we marry urban and rural?
In terms of the divide? Yeah, look, I have to say to you, I'm not convinced that the urban-rural divide is as big as we make it out sometimes. I think we put a lot more volume to it. I talk agriculture in every city meeting and town meeting I go to. And it's really interesting. I think there is huge respect for agriculture in general, and it even was, say, 5, 6 years ago, I reckon, because people actually appreciate you got us through the GFC, you got us through COVID, they know we're going into some difficult times, and they've got a sense that agriculture is the backbone that we need to be back for. But, people are getting a sense of what we're about, and, they can trust me to be able to get things done, and that's what it's all about.